All right, I'm going to start a little tour here, so I thought people might be interested in it. I just stepped out the door, and laying down here on the ground is my two dogs. Just got back from, I think, from the pond down there at the bottom, where they jumped and got wet and muddy. Now they're tired as hell. I guess I can, if you look up there, there's two tanks up there. That's our agua potable, which is city water. We'd store it up there because they turn it on and off all the time, so we have that for a little backup. Take you around here. I usually park my truck right here, but I went to the store earlier and the roads were so bad. I was afraid to try to back in here because it's so slick. It's like ice out there because it rained all night last night. The roads are muddy. If I didn't have four-wheel drive, I could not get in and out of here. Just give you a little idea of the front there. It's basically the dog's bathroom. This is where they go shit. I do have a couple of nice tomato plants up here that just came up by themselves. So when I cleaned it and chopped the place the other day, I left them. They look pretty nice. But it's a small little area here in front. There's the road going up there. Road going down here. Right now the road sucks. But usually after the sun comes out, which it has not today, it dries up in a couple of hours. Then it's passable, but man, after it rains all night, it's tough. Luckily I got my nice little four-wheel drive pickup there. When I went to the store earlier. When I came back, damn near slid off the road. That's not good here because, as you can see, there's nothing to keep you from rolling down a hill. It's my pile of brush. I cut all these bushes down the other day, and I got this pile here waiting to dry up, so I'll burn it. This is our outdoor dining, our outdoor stove, which we cook out here a lot. So, as you can see, bought a bunch of corn the other day. I'm drying the leaves so when we make humitas or tucano. So anyway, this is where we keep this is where I start my plants. Got a couple tomatoes left here. I don't even know if I'm going to plant them or not. I got so many. There's Delia's hummingbird feeder. She just changed it out the other day, and since then they hadn't come back. So I don't know if it takes them a while to get used to it or what. Down there we have the chicken house. And right now I'm going to go and kind of show you what we're growing here, the garden areas. This was my compost pile. It's full of tomatoes. There's one big potato plant in there too. So I just let them go. We'll get some tomatoes out of them. I'm not sure what kind. This is chaya. I guess you guys remember that. We planted some in Florida. It grows all over the place here, but nobody eats it. In Belize, of course, it's a prized green, but they don't eat it here at all. This is a pepper row here. This is all, I got about 15 habanero pepper plants. Delia and I dug this whole area and brought in some good dirt and fixed it up real nice. So we've got multiple kinds of peppers here. These little babies right here are, if you can see them, they're small, but they are hot and delicious. We've got, you can see some getting ripe here on this tree. Now we kind of got to the point. I've made sauce with them. Got them put up. We eat. I make all kind of stuff with them every day. But we got so many that now I've been drying them. I dry them and make them into a powder. And I just cooked a bunch of peanuts last night with roasted peanuts with that powder. Delia was upstairs eating that when I left, going, "Woo, ooh, it's hot." These are the Jamaican peppers. These are a couple I brought some cherry tomato seeds. We can get tomatoes really cheap, but there's only one kind usually at the market. So I plant my cherry tomatoes and these pear tomatoes. There's some more peppers. These two plants here, we were in the Amazonia area visiting some friends, and they had a habanero pepper tree in front of their house. Nobody ate it, so we grabbed a bunch of the peppers, and I saved the seeds, and these came from them. They're big old peppers, but they're good. This is all my parsley. So you can buy that pretty cheap at the store. I mean at the market, that and the cilantro. But usually when we buy a bunch, it's only 25 cents for a bunch. It ends up spoiling half of it. So this way I just come out here and pick it whatever I want. This is basil. We use a lot of basil. I like to put it in salads, about everything. We can make tea out of it. And this is some carrots I got left. We picked a bunch of them already. So that's this little area of gardening. This is Delia's bird feeder. She keeps full of seed for the birds to come around and eat, and they eat it all the time. So I got another little plot over here that I had a guy that was working around here and gave him a job. He came in with a pick and chopped it all up for me. And so you can see I got some more tomatoes here. This is a bush that Delia found growing here that her grandma used to use to flavor beans. It's called apazote. So she brought a plant here, and we transplanted it in the garden. There's some more basil. I'm letting it go to seed. This is thyme down here. I use that a lot too. This is a mint tree. It's kind of funny. It doesn't look like mint, but it surely tastes and smells like it. It's great. There's some more. These are tomato plants that grew up in the chicken pen. So I transplanted them out here in the garden. Down there, there's that one plant right there is a papaya tree that you planted. These are okra that I planted the second or third batch. Some more carrots. There's more okra. I got okra kind of where I planted it every 2 weeks so I could have it at different times. I'm just now starting to get my first ones from these big ones here that I planted first. I had to fight. I would plant them, and every time I did, the ants would come and eat the leaves when they got very big, but I've found some stuff to kill the ants with, so far I've been keeping them off, and they're growing up pretty good now. I got another little plot here that I planted. This is it's got some okra in it, but it's got all this is peanuts. And I had peanuts all over in that other area, and we picked those and ate them all. And this was a second batch. So over here in this area is the plantain and bananas. Right now we've got a couple of batches of bananas that are on the trees, and there's one right here. You can see I got it tied up so it kind of helps. They support each other so it doesn't fall down when they get too big. This is another batch right here. So they've still got a few weeks before they'll get ready. Now as you see back here, going down this hill here, it's all planted in corn. It looks pretty dang good. I didn't plant this stuff. The little lady that works for us come and plant, because I can't negotiate his heels like that, especially with my bum knee. How the heck she gets up, she walks up and down there in dang slippers. I don't know how she does it. She's probably 70 years old. But she's waters during the dry season. She comes and waters the plants, has been for the lady that owns the place for a long time. And since there's no need to water here during the rainy season, she came and planted this. This is all over here is they call it yucca here. It's called cassava in Belize. Africa, they got some other name for it. It grows all over the tropics. They call it something different everywhere. All this is citrus here. We got plenty of limes, oranges, grapefruit, lemons, tangerines, all kind of things. So I basically try to take care of this because they were getting messed up and I had to spray it. But it's so nice, we just come down here when we want lemons or limes and we just pick them off the tree. This is a young mango tree. It's got a batch of mangoes this time around. Those will be ready sometime probably July, I think. But it's a pretty small tree. Last year, see this, there's another one over there, it's full of them. Last year they just had a couple. You can see that yucca, cassava, it's all over the place. Right there is a fence. The other side of that's the end of the property. Down below there is, guy was telling me he's trying to sell it to me. He wants too much. But down there's a pond somewhere. That's where the dogs go and get messed up. He said he used to have about 100 pigs, bunches of chickens down there, but the place really stunk then. But now he lives in Cuenca and kind of comes there and takes care of it every once in a while. More citrus, more limes. All right, so that's pretty much the tour. This is another guy's property over here. Where well, as a matter of fact, the lady that waters owns this, and her husband comes and plants over there. Pretty much those people and quite a few people around here kind of work day by day. They plant lots of food and just kind of live off of that and whatever they can make now and again. Up there's a road goes by and a house up there that nobody, so many of the houses here are owned by Cuencanos, people that live in Cuenca that have money and they come here on weekends, and so they don't live here permanent. We're one of the few ones that live right in this little area. There's worthless chickens, eat a hell of a lot more than they produce in eggs. Other thing we got a lot of wild around here is callaloo. I had a bunch right here. I just cut them down and let them, because they'll start back up. We're starting to go to seed. So you can see these, obviously these seeds you can eat once they get ripe. If you ever heard of amaranth, that's what that is. All right, back to the house. Delia's upstairs watching TV. I got some naan bread that I'm rising right now when I get back in. I have curry cabbage that we had last night. I got some shrimp I'm going to curry along with that fresh naan bread. Nice. Here's the mountain. It's not a very clear day today. You can see, you can't even see the top of the mountain over here. Pretty good and cloudy all day long, but it was so nice and cool today. Anyway, that's the tour. I'm going to download this, try to get it in some kind of a, maybe I put it on YouTube or somewhere where you guys can access it. Aloha.